SicCooper here, and today I've got a friend with me.
Hi everybody, my name's Sam, and I'm going to be starting a new channel here on YouTube. It's called Sammy997, and basically I'm going to be doing videos here, showing pickups, and hopefully some other videos showing some of my other interests, along with video gaming. And I have been playing Nintendo for my entire life, though I did not really consider myself a collector until recently. I just want to shout out to some people who inspired me to collect. I want to shout out to Lithium. You were the first videos that I saw on YouTube. You're awesome. And also SicCooper here. He was also an inspiration. Watched several of his videos as well. And they were major influences in getting me to collect. And a lot of the stuff that you'll be seeing in videos like today and future videos that I'll do myself and with Cooper were games that I probably played when I was a kid, but when I did leave for college a couple of years ago, I did unfortunately have to split up the games with my brother. So good titles such as Zelda's, I've had to re-get, but that's part of the fun, okay? So we're going to go ahead and show you what we got.
Yeah, so we did a big game hunting trip today, which was pretty much all day. We woke up at like 6:30 to go out to all the pawn shops and the thrift stores, and we went to the flea market and a game store at the very end. And we tried to film as much as we could, but since we were so busy trying to rush to all the places we had planned, we didn't film too much, but we do have some footage, so I'm going to go ahead and insert that footage right here.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn into the place we always turn in. It's kind of a tradition now. So we probably don't park next to cars, so we'll park right here. This is so shady, like this spot right here.
Going to another value pawn. Usually value pawns don't have anything, but we got some good deals today.
Alright guys, so we're back here. We just stopped at 2 more pawn shops. We got some pretty good deals.
Alright, so we're here in Sanford, Florida at Flea World, which is the big flea market here. And there's 4 game stores here. And I might have filmed some stuff here before, I'm not sure. But I'm going to try and do some filming in there. Hopefully we don't get in trouble. And see what kind of deals we get.
Okay, we're going to start off with a little bit of what we did. So basically today we got up really early. We got up around 6:30. I had Cooper picked up just a little bit after 7. We got some breakfast and we started out at some garage sales. We did find some pretty cool stuff at some garage sales, and following that we hit up some local thrift stores and other pawn shops. We then hit up some flea markets, a few more pawn shops, and a gaming store at the end. So we're going to go ahead and show what we got.
Alright, so we're not going to be showing the stuff in the order we picked it up just because there's so much here. And we don't really remember where exactly we picked up some of the stuff.
Too much stuff.
So I'm just going to go ahead and start off by showing, I guess, the one console that I found. And this was purchased from a Cash America, which is a pawn shop. And it was kind of a bundle deal, so I think it ended up being $20 in the end. I'm not positive, but
it's just 15 to 20.
Yeah, 15 to 20. It's just a regular N64 jumper pack, and it came with a regular gray controller, which has a good stick, and then both cables. And like I said, it was like 15 to 20 after the bundle deal. I'm not positive, but it was a good enough deal to pick up. And then
definitely considering that getting that helped the rest of the bundle get better, so that was definitely a plus.
Yeah, we tried to bundle a lot of our stuff together when buying at some of the places to hopefully get a better deal. People always give a better deal when you are buying a bunch of stuff, so he wants some stuff, I want some stuff, put it together, make one big bundle, and we usually get a better deal in the end. But also from the same Cash America, I was able to pick up a Halo Edition original Xbox controller, and I know the camera's kind of far away, it might be hard to see these, but this is like the clear green one. And also at that same Cash America, picked up a Platinum GameCube controller, And all the controllers and stuff we picked up are all official first-party stuff here. And then just to keep going with the systems and controllers, there's a few other things here that we picked up along the way that I just wanted to get out of the way so that we just save like games and stuff for the rest of the video. At one of the garage sales, I was able to pick up 2 Nintendo RF cables, which was pretty cool. And then there was also some, I don't know where it is now, but there was some like little adapter. It was like a 4-player adapter for an Atari or a Sega or something. But those are really cheap, so that's kind of cool. And then at the flea market, in a bundle deal, I was able to pick up a PS2 controller and also a Wavebird controller with the receiver here. And the Wavebird was marked for $5, the PS2 controller was marked for $3, and then I was able to get a few games with it as well for, you know, a bundle price. So if I were to take the money just off of the GameCube controller, this ended up being like $1, which was pretty cool. But that's all like the systems, cables, and controllers that I picked up.
I did pick up some consoles myself. When we were at the flea market, Cooper kindly asked the gentleman running the store how much it would be to pick up just boxes, because they had some extra boxes of like some Wii stuff and some GameCube stuff, and he ended up just picking it off the shelf, and he actually threw it at us and said, I literally threw it at us, and actually we were kind of worried about the condition of the box, but thankfully he didn't make us pay for it. That was really cool. It was very dusty, but we were able to clean it. It's just a black one, and I don't have a console for it yet. And Cooper was nice enough to give it to me, as he already has it. I don't have the console or a matching controller with it, but we'll definitely get that soon. There's no info or instructions in the box, unfortunately. We went to a pawn shop, continuing with the consoles, and for $25 they had this, the limited edition Platinum. I don't really know, it's not that limited, but the box is limited. And it is complete in the box. It had a memory card in it. It's a third-party memory card, which really kind of stinks, but it's complete nonetheless, minus the inserts and the instructions once again. But the console and everything's all there. And I asked if they would. They had a couple just like really cheap GameCube games, and I asked them if they would throw in any of them when I bought the console, and they ended up throwing in The Sims for the GameCube, which is also complete in box. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I essentially got it for free with the console.
Yeah, it was marked at $4 too, I think is what it said on the back there.
Yeah.
So pretty much like a $4 off, I guess.
Yeah, so however we want to look at it, got the console cheaper, bought the game, or bought the game, got the console. You know, however you want to look at it, it was a pretty good deal overall. And staying with that same pawn shop, I got New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It was $10, which is a really good deal. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't have this game either, so definitely cool to get this one back. And before we get into all the games that we got, I just want to mention, yeah, definitely. We picked this controller up, and it had a memory card in it. Cooper took the memory card.
I got the memory card right here.
Oh yeah,
it's a first party one.
And I took the controller, and it was $4.99. And we bought so much stuff, it probably didn't even come to $4.99, honestly.
Yeah, it was probably in another bundle, so. Yeah.
I mean, I think he put it on as $5 at the end, but everything else we got was quite a bit cheaper, that it probably wasn't even $5. And it's in really good shape. It's a little dirty, but I'll make sure and get it all cleaned up. And the stick's kind of bad, but I do have some other ones that I'm going to switch out with it, so I am in need of N64 controllers, so this was definitely helpful.
Yeah, a nice blue one for $5 is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, plus the Funtastic ones are really cool.
Yeah, especially with the memory card, like $5 was a really good deal on that, and we were pretty excited when we saw that.
And I guess the last thing before we get into the games, we have a couple more things that aren't game related, so we'll just talk about them.
Well, they're game related, but they're not actual games.
Yeah. So Cooper knows that I'm like a monsterly huge Zelda fan, so he gave me this big box of the Skyward Sword, the display box, and it's definitely extremely cool, and I put it up on my wall, and it definitely looked nice, so I'm definitely excited about that because I'm a huge Zelda geek. And he also gave me this Mario Kart Wii, the big box 2. It is also the display only box, but it's very cool nonetheless.
Yeah, and the Zelda boxes here, I had 2 of them. I had this one which I like used to display in my game room, and then I had one that I just kept like flat. It's never been unfolded, and I wanted to keep one for myself, so I decided to give him this one. And I got these from GameStop a while ago, and they just gave them to me. But also these Mario Kart Wii boxes, it looks just like the regular big box for the game, but it is actually for display only. So it's like a thin cardboard. It's not like the box for it, but pretty cool. I have a bunch of these. If anyone's interested, let me know. They're just display boxes, but
very cool. It still looks cool on the wall. So
yeah, I think I have like 5 or 6 of those left. But
definitely hit them up if you're interested.
Jumping into one more thing that's game related, but once again not actual games. At the flea market, there's a game store there called Game Castle, and I might have talked about them before in like kind of older videos because I haven't been there in a while. But they have a shelf in the back with a bunch of magazines and strategy guides and stuff, and they have 2 different shelves. One of them's marked for $1 each, and the one below that is $3 each. And there's a bunch of Nintendo Power magazines, and originally I thought that they were all $1 each, so I had picked out.
Thought it was very unclear.
Yeah, we had picked out 75 Nintendo Power magazines. Most of them were the older ones. I think it worked out to
it was like 59.
16 of the new ones, and then 59 of the old, like the retro ones, basically. And his price for all of them came to like 180 something, and the lowest he offered to sell them all to me for was 100, which is a really good deal, and I would have taken it normally, but it was so early in the day I didn't want to spend that much money because I only had a limited amount to spend that day, so I didn't want to spend a lot. But I did pick up the 16 newer ones for $1 each, or for $10. He gave it to me for 10.
$10.
So I got 16 Nintendo Power magazines here.
And they're all in really good shape
for $10. And these span from like the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube up until the Wii and the 3DS and Wii U, or not Wii U, but up into the newer stuff. So pretty cool. Nothing like super rare or anything. They're all newer ones, like I said, but there are a couple that have Mario on the cover, and looking through, there's a Star Fox on that one, Pokémon, Zelda, Kid Icarus, Epic Mickey, so there's some cool ones here, but I haven't been home to compare them to mine, so I don't know if like any of these are doubles, but 16 Nintendo Powers for $10 is an excellent deal, and I'll always pick them up when I can like that, but I think we'll get into the actual games now.
Yeah, and the last note on that, when we go back in a couple of weeks, we're going to see if he's still going to offer the same deal, and we're going to try and get those other retro ones because they were really cool. Yeah, ranging from Zelda's to Mario's to Donkey Kong's, everything. So
yeah, it seemed like a lot of the ones he had were the N64 era, which
they were all intact. Most of them were intact with the posters and everything, so they were all in like really good shape. So we're going to try and get those when we go back.
Yeah, and actually one more thing before we get into the games. I picked up 4 PS2 memory cards. These are all official. There's 2 black ones and 2 clear red ones, and they were $1 for one of them and then $2 each for the others, I think. But once again, they came in a bundle, so it might have been cheaper. But that is the last thing I have that's not an actual game.
Okay, and then in between the first day that we went, this was last week, and the second day, I was running some errands just normally, and I was actually talking to Cooper on the phone. And this is the funny part. And I just stopped at the Goodwill because I had to go to the bank and everything, and I have never had any good luck at the Goodwill. So this was extremely cool to find these. First is the Star Wars Bounty Hunter. It's a black label, and it's complete in box. It was $4, which is still a pretty good price for it, and overall is in really good shape. But the really good one was The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, and this is also complete in box, and everything's in really good shape with this, so for $4 this was a must, and lucky for me this was another game I didn't have due to moving away to go to college, so very cool to get these back. And let's see.
At least yeah, I can show some stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got a PSP game, a couple PS1 games, and then some Xbox games. These were picked up from random pawn shops. And the only reason I picked up the PSP game is because it was really cheap. I don't even know what this game's worth, if anything, but it was only $1.99, and it's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. There's no manual, but, game in case.
And it was only $1.99, so...
Yeah. And then, 2 PS1 long box games. I don't think these ones are, rare at all, but there's Total Eclipse Turbo and Shell Shock, and they're both complete. And these were in a bundle from one of the Cash Americas, and when I was adding it up in my head, I was paying $2.50 each for these, so not bad. And then this one kind of has a story behind it. One of the Cash Americas we went to, we bought a big bundle of stuff from where I got the N64, and we actually forgot, and we never got the discs for the cases because they keep the discs behind the counter to prevent theft and all that. And since we were buying so much stuff, the lady forgot to put the games in there for us, so we had to go back to the pawn shop to pick up the games. And then we decided to check the other games we had gotten from previous pawn shops just to make sure, and realized we had forgot them from another Cash America. So we had to backtrack to 2 different pawn shops. And this is from the second one that the first one we stopped at, but the second one we went back to.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that I had bought Star Wars Battlefront for the Xbox, but inside is Star Wars Battlefront for the PS2, which is, the Xbox version is a decently, like a $10 to $15 game, but PS2 version is worthless. So I tried to return this and get a little bit of money off of a different game I wanted, and he told me that I could just have this for free, and he still gave me the deal on the other game. So, nothing I really want, but it was free, basically. And then from other random pawn shops, I picked up 2 copies of Halo, the Game of the Year edition for the original Xbox, and a copy of Halo 2, and I think these are all complete. Yeah, all 3 of these ones are complete.
It's definitely cool. The first day we went out searching, we were driving around. We had already hit maybe 7 pawn shops, and we were finishing the day. The day was coming to the end, and we wanted to hit one more. And on the way, we were driving past Toys R Us, and I was like, Cooper, you want to stop there and see if they have any cool Mario figurines? Because Toys R Us usually has some pretty cool Mario or Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, anything really. They have a bunch of cool figurines, and we wanted to see if they had any on sale. And we went in there and we walked past the Wii U games, and they had some Wii U games on sale. It was I want to say it was buy one get one half off, which isn't fantastic, but it's not bad nonetheless. And we didn't end up getting any, and we were surprised to see that where the figurines usually were at, they were not there. And so we kind of scattered off, and Cooper walked one way and I walked the other way. And I do collect for DS, so I just said I was just going to walk through the DS aisle to see if they had anything cheap. And when we get there, they had a big box of Pokémon SoulSilver, with the Pokewalker, still sealed, and it was the normal price of a DS game. So for $39.99, got the big box of SoulSilver, and being a big Pokemon fan, this one was definitely really cool. I had the gold one, but I don't have the big box for the Heart Gold anymore, so I need to try and get that one back.
Yeah, and that was a really good deal because, I think you were saying that was a pre-order only or something, so they don't even
something like that.
They don't even carry those in the stores anymore. And we actually had the lady working there check the other Toys R Us's in the area to see if they might have any more, because a sealed copy of that is $60 to $80 on eBay. And so for $40, that's a pretty good deal. And she checked around and she was only able to find one more in the area. And we meant to go there today, but we just forgot because we had so many places to go. But
we did forget.
Yeah,
we
might check
we had that planned. But this is no big deal. But it's just funny because if you go to GameStop or whatever, it's gonna cost you $45 just for the
Just
the
for
cartridge of
Yeah.
SoulSilver, and this was $40, and it came in the big box sealed with everything. So,
Yeah.
and the
This
box,
is an excellent deal.
it's in the box is in really good shape. A couple of the corners have a little, just like little scuffs, but overall there's no creasing or anything in the box. And we asked the lady, the woman who's working, like, you know, why it was still there and why it was in such good shape, and she said that that it had been Toys R Us, like, apparently, like, locks their stuff in, like, double protected things. So
Like, yeah, like even in the back rooms, they have their games locked up back there.
and then locked inside another thing, like separated by console, like Nintendo to PlayStation, whatever. So she said that that one must have been like locked back there, and they never realized that they never like refilled it, and they just put it out. And I did call again like a week later or a couple days later to see if they had more, and the man on the phone told me they had 2, and I immediately called Cooper and asked if he wanted me to pick up both of those, because I know Cooper wanted a sealed one too. And I get there, and the guy unfortunately didn't check to see if they had any more, and he said that they had 2, but someone must have came in and bought them, and I mean, I bought one of them, and I don't know who bought the other one, but so that was definitely a bummer. But so
Yeah, cool to at least find the one.
yeah, it was definitely cool. So I mean, and then I guess one last thing before we get into the the last thing before we get into the rest of the pawn shop stuff. Over the summer of school, I was just outside. I was taking apart a Nintendo, cleaning it, and I was painting it, you know, for fun, because I had an extra one. And a guy walked by, and he said he had some games in the Super Nintendo. And I said I would be interested, but I didn't think he was really going to call me, and I didn't really know what games he had. And he called me or texted me during the school year, like a while later, and said that he had a couple of rare games for the SNES, and I ultimately got him to take 40 for the 2, so, you know, about 20 each, and that would be Super Mario and Super Mario All-Stars, the joint cartridge one, and the better of the 2 is Chrono Trigger, and they are both in amazing shape. So, and they both came with dust covers, so, and those were always cool. Kind of picked those up, so that was an amazing deal, and it was totally unexpected. I mean, I gave him my number, but I didn't really follow up because I didn't really think he was serious, and so that was a surprise, but definitely cool.
Yeah, that's a good deal. And at the Cash America where we got the N64, like I said, we bought a bunch of stuff from there, so it was a really big deal. And right at the end, we were able to look through a bag of DS games that the lady had originally told us were not for sale until she saw another employee sell a Pokemon game out of there.
Which was definitely a bummer at the price that they gave us, what we got.
We definitely would have bought that, and so once we saw that they were actually selling the games, she let us look through. We picked out a bunch of DS games we wanted. There was Game Boy Advance and DS games in there, and since we already been there for like half an hour having her add up prices for everything, when she got to the DS games, she didn't want to look anything up because she was tired of it, so she just gave us a set price and told us $2.99 each. So for $3 we got some pretty awesome DS games, and they're all cartridge only, but it's definitely a really good deal. And so I got, this one has the label ripped off, but somebody wrote Star Fox on it.
We're hoping, fingers
I'm
crossed.
hoping that's what it is, but
We always pick up the no cartridge names anyway, so
yeah.
it could be a surprise.
And then we also got Diddy Kong Racing DS, Super Mario 64 DS, Mario Party DS, Animal Crossing Wild World, and then Metal Slug 7, which I don't know like if that's an expensive game or not, but for $3 it's, you know, might as well take a chance.
And then these 3 as well, Mario Kart, another Mario Kart, actually 2 Mario Karts, and the best one was a Pokemon Emerald, a Nintendo, official Nintendo, not one of the bootleg ones, so that was definitely awesome. For
Yeah,
$3 for all of them.
In the bundle of stuff that we were getting from there, we each were buying, you know, certain games. So when she pulled out the DS games, we decided to split them up just like kind of evenly, I guess, because neither of us were like specifically interested in a certain game. So we just decided to split them up. So the ones I showed you are the ones that I picked up, and he got the Pokemon and the 2 Mario Karts. which is pretty cool. And
Yeah, let's show what we got from that big deal.
yeah, I think also from there, I picked up these. These are the small case versions of Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. And I think when I was adding up the prices in my head, these came to like $5 each as well. So that's a pretty good deal. And I actually need these for the boxed Wii that I have, because it's supposed to come with both of these, and I have them. But the Wii Sports Resort that I have for it is in the big case, and it's not supposed to be. So I'm going to use this to replace that, which is pretty cool. And what else?
And you got some PlayStation games on that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff in that deal. It's kind of hard to remember everything, but
Those were
included in there, I got a cartridge of Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, and this worked out to be about $5. And then she actually threw in a copy of Star Fox 64 for free, which was pretty cool.
We got this one, Super Mario 64, for $10. That was an awesome deal. We got a bunch of other games.
Yeah, I picked up God of War 2, which was complete, and that was like $2, I believe.
I got Double Dash. It's complete. It was $10.
And then picked up a couple of Wii games. I got New Super Mario Bros. Wii for
It was like
$10,
$10.
I believe, and then Mario Kart Wii for $15. Those are both complete.
I got Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, some word that starts with a T, 3.
Tenkaichi.
Yeah, it's too hard to pronounce. It's too hard to pronounce on YouTube. And this worked out to be about 20 with all the stuff, which complete is a really good deal. So this was cool.
And then I don't know like exactly what else we got there, but just continuing on, at some point I was able to pick up a blue SP for $10, and it doesn't have a charger with it, and it's dead, so I don't know if it works. But you know, $10, even if it's broken, you know, I should be able to get 15 on eBay for, you know, a broken one. People can use them for parts or whatever. But I have extra chargers at home, so I'm gonna test it when I get back, and hopefully it works. Oh, and we're at Sam's house, by the way. I don't know if we ever mentioned.
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
pulled some of the stuff off because we've been going through many times, and I took the fun of organizing my room many times after each time, and I ended up pulling everything back off. So there's a lot of empty spaces.
Yeah, I don't know
And
how
so-
well you can like see the shelves up here.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Well, kind of, but it's growing, and so that's pretty awesome. Got those cartridges.
At some point, I don't.
It was the
I don't
Cash
remember.
America. It was the one where you got
Some Cash America. Okay. This was also like pretty much every deal we did was like a bundle deal. There wasn't really too many places where we picked up like a single game.
It was. We did all of our things together. So we
Yeah.
just Cooper and I talked on the side before we went in the line, like how much we each wanted to pay for each game, which game we wanted, how much we wanted to pay, and we just both talked and
Tried to work out like a bundle price for everything.
right.
Well, yeah, effectively making us pay what we pretty much wanted to pay. And in one of those deals, I was able to get copies of Mario Bros. 2 and 3, and I think they worked out to be like $5 each, which isn't like an amazing deal, but because we were getting it in a bundle, it worked out to be pretty fair. If you like round out the deal, it's pretty good.
Let's see. We stopped at a few more pawn shops, and we got several GameCube games. Cooper's got a big stack over there.
Yeah, we were both able to pick up
Yeah, we were able to pick up a lot of
a lot of
GameCube
GameCube
games.
stuff.
I got another game that I lost when I came to college. Mario Kart, Toadstool,
Or Mario Golf.
Mario Golf. Whoa, yeah, Mario Golf. I said Toadstool, right?
Yeah.
But Toadstool Tour, and it is complete. And Resident Evil 4. I never had this game, and Cooper was nice enough to let me get this one. It is complete as well with both disc and Donkey Konga for $2, which, considering we got a bunch of other GameCube games and these ones for $2 each, along with we got some Xbox and PS2 stuff. So it definitely was a great deal altogether.
Yeah,
And
$2 each for those. Is,
$2 each, and
Yeah.
a lot of these
A
other
lot of
ones
the-
were $2 each.
Yeah, a lot of the GameCube games and like a lot of the games you picked up were actually really cheap today, and you know like you find Resident Evil even at a pawn shop, you're expecting to pay at least like $8 to $10, but a lot of the places we went had really fair prices, and then were willing to do bundle deals on top of that, giving us even a better price in the end.
Yeah,
So.
and not only that, but I think something that was definitely awesome, and it seemed like every pawn shop we went to, I mean, we were nice enough, and like, we visited with the workers and everything, and so they would like go back into the back and check through the rest of their stuff to see if they had other stuff that we would buy, and a lot of times we would pull a game out. I think that's how we even got most of these GameCube games, honestly, because I don't think they had, most of the pawn shops we went to mostly had Wii games and PS3, PS2, and Xbox. Really no Xbox 360 or anything younger or
older, like retro.
Yeah, retro. I don't know why I said younger, but been a big day. But anyway, I don't think really anyone had anything older than Wii, really, and we still walked away with a bunch of GameCube games, and I don't think we ever paid more than $2 on a single GameCube game, including the ones I just showed, and Cooper still got a stack here to show. So, but definitely we wouldn't have gotten any of these GameCube games had we not kindly asked the workers of the pawn shops to go see if they had more in the back, because like 9 out of 10 times they would go back multiple times and find new stuff each time. So that was definitely cool.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of GameCube games here. A lot of them are filler titles, but they were just things I needed. And, like you said, we pretty much, I mean, I think there was some
there's like
$1 there's like one game in here that I paid like $10 for, I think. But most of these were either I bought with trade credit from the game store, or they were like $2 from a pawn shop. So I picked up NBA Courtside 2002, and these are all, most of these are complete, by the way. And then Army Men Sarge's War, Sonic Heroes, Fantastic Four, Karaoke Revolution Party, Jimmy Neutron, Attack of the Twonkies.
We struggled to say that name in the store. We were like, Twinkies? Twinkies.
Sega Soccer Slam, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, Tetris Worlds, and then this one came from the flea market, the bundle where I got the Wavebird. This was one of the games that was included, and it's Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. It was marked at $4, so whatever that worked out to in the bundle was pretty good. And then a few disc-only games here. I picked up a copy of 1080 Avalanche from the game store, just because I need to replace the disc I have in one of mine, because it's like really scratched, so I just got that for $1. And then the other two GameCube games that were included in the bundle with the Wavebird and with Baldur's Gate were disc-only copies of Lost Kingdoms and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. And these were marked at $3 each, and maybe came out to like $2 each in the end. Mm-hmm. And that was a really good deal, because these 3 GameCube games alone are worth well over $30, and I only paid $24 for the whole bundle.
So that was the Wavebird PS2 controller and a GameCube, and an extra GameCube controller. So.
Yeah, so that was awesome. And then the game that I paid $10 for is Mario Party 7, which is complete. And then I wanted to kind of mention these really quick, because when in one of my videos I mentioned I was focusing on GameCube, and someone had told me that NHL Hits 2003 is like a $20 GameCube game, and I'd never heard anything like that before. I know there's some sports games that are worth money, but I'd never heard about this one being worth anything. And I looked it up, and a complete copy is around $20, and people are actually paying that for them. And so I made sure that when we went out today to keep an eye out open for them, because I know that like someone who sees this game is not going to price it high. They're just going to think it's just another sports game. So I was able to pick up 2 copies of NHL Hits 2003 for $3.95, and neither of them have the manuals, but they both have the cases and the discs, and that's basically $4 for like what would you say, like $35 worth of games, because they don't have manuals.
It was pretty cool.
I thought that was a pretty good deal.
And what was funny about the one he paid 95 cents for, or maybe it was the one he paid $3 for. We were at the flea market, and we pulled it off the shelf, and we were discussing on the side, like how cool it was, like how we thought we were getting a good deal, we went up to the register, and the man who we swear was like just in every place. Like it seems like we went down like every different like stage of the flea market, every line of shops, and we swear we saw him at like 5 different shops. It was that funny. It was pretty scary.
Weird.
But the funny thing was, is we walked up and Cooper handed him an NHL NHL hits, and the guy kind of looked at it. He kind of picked it up, and he was like, he's kind of like, NHL hits. You like hockey? This is exactly what he said. You like hockey? And Cooper's like, no, but. Or, he's just like, no, but, I still want the game because I'm a collector. and
yeah, he's like, are you a hockey fan? And I said, I'm more of a GameCube fan.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. And it was really funny because he, exactly what Cooper just said, no one realizes that a sport game is worth anything. So it was just really funny to go to to be at the flea market, and a guy who, pricing all this stuff didn't even realize that it was worth anything. So, and I think the last bit of GameCube games, before we get into a big GameCube game and some other PlayStation and Wii stuff, and then some box stuff, was we were at one of our favorite pawn shops that we went to 2 of the 3 days just for fun, because Cooper is friends with one of the managers, and everything's priced really good there.
They give really good deals too.
Really good deals, definitely.
Yeah, they pretty much ask you what you want to pay for a certain game, and then they'll, whatever you tell them, they'll pretty much be okay with, which is really cool.
So I just walked up, I just pulled every GameCube game that was complete off the shelf, and they had this Bratz one that we swear was following us everywhere we went.
We see like every store we go to.
Neither of us had it, but neither of us got it. We'll get it eventually. And Cooper even made the comment that he just needs to pick it up so that he doesn't have to look for it anymore, but we'll get it eventually. I'm sure that it'll still be at both of those pawn shops the next time we go, so no worries there. But I walked up to the counter with the 4 GameCube games that they had, and they're all complete, and I just made an offer of $4 total for the 4 games, and he took it, which is pretty awesome. 2 of them were sports games. It was Madden 2004, Madden 2007, but then these 2 were pretty cool. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and Tag 2, The Staff of Dreams. So they're all complete, and they're all in pretty good shape. So that was pretty cool. And then, let's see.
You have those GameCube games.
Oh yeah. They were hiding underneath some box stuff.
More GameCube.
I have these 2. We went to another pawn shop, one that Cooper had never been to either, and so it was new for both of us, and I found these on the shelf, and they had one of them marked at 8 and the other marked at 4, and the one marked at 8 was definitely already a good deal, and the one marked at 4 was kind of pushing it, but I just walked up there and I made an offer of 10 total, and he took it, so that was pretty cool. They're both complete in box. It's Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time for the GameCube, and Mario Party 7, and they are both complete, minus the big box for Mario Party 7, but that's a whole nother adventure, so hopefully we find that someday.
Yeah, that's cool though that we picked up 2 Mario Party 7s in like 2 trips, which, 2 game hunting trips, which is pretty cool because...
Yeah. We didn't see any of the other Mario Parties though, except for Mario Party 2 at a game store, but they wanted quite a bit for it. It was complete in box, and it was pretty even with eBay, but we didn't really want to spend that much money on that game, because then you don't really feel good about it afterwards. So we just held off on that. And then I guess the last GameCube games for me was actually from Cooper. I made some trades. I had some stuff that I know that worked good for him. So I actually had this game, but it was a player's choice and it was missing the manual. So I paid him $1 and I gave him my game, and he gave me a complete Metroid Prime, which nothing special, but it's definitely cool, especially since it's not player's choice, because player's choice, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And then I traded a few games. This is not GameCube, but this is part of the same deal. I traded some other games for a Nintendo Land, which I do have the Wind Waker Wii U, but as I'm sure many of you know, it did not come with Nintendo Land. And so I was able to get this, and this is actually a really fun game that was really fun to play with a bunch of people, so that was pretty cool. And then 3 GameCube games that I bought from him for $60 total. It was Metroid Prime 2, Echoes, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess for the GameCube. They're all complete, and I think how it worked out in our minds was, and Cooper gave me a good deal on it too, was like, I first threw out $50 for The Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and he came back at me for $60 total, so I think it worked out to be $10 for Metroid, $20 for Wind Waker, and $30 for Twilight Princess. So I was very happy with that. And
yeah, I mean, if that's how you want to look at it. I was looking at it as $30 each for the Zeldas and just throw in Metroid Prime, but
however you want to look at it, it's,
whichever way.
it worked out good, and we were happy about it either way. So yeah. I got 3 more games that, well, the Wind Waker I already had, but again, I had to leave it at home. But the other 2, I mean, I guess I never had Twilight Princess for the GameCube, just for the Wii. So nonetheless, it was really cool to get those.
Yeah, and then
should the garage sale one that you got?
Yeah, the very first place that we stopped this morning was a garage sale, and we went to like 3 or 4 different ones and only found something at the last one. And I'm very glad we stopped because, you know, we got out and we were looking around and they didn't have anything, and I asked the guy if they had any video game stuff, and as I started asking him and I explained we're looking for like older Nintendo stuff, he like started smiling, he started like getting a grin on his face, so I could tell he's gonna bring out something. Good. And I showed you the cables I got, the 2 RF adapters, and he had a couple games. He had like a couple Genesis games that were like Toy Story or whatever, but then he had a complete in-box copy of Ocarina of Time for the N64. This is just the Grey Cart version, but the manual was in really good shape, so I traded it to him for his manual because he wanted to upgrade the condition.
His was definitely cool.
Yeah, the manual he had was a little bent on the front. The manual that was included in here was pretty good, so I just, you know, traded him straight across for that. But the box is a little beat up, but it's not bad, and the cartridge is
looked a lot worse when we came out. When he brought it out, it was like, it looked like it had been squished.
Yeah, it looked like the box was destroyed, but it's actually not that bad.
When you know, Cooper didn't put it back together until we started walking away, because $10.
Yeah.
And it's still a good deal whether the box has been crushed or not, because the manual and the cart were in really good shape. So as we were walking away, Cooper was just kind of fiddling with it, and when we got into the car, he just like turned at me and was like, "Whoa, like look how good this is." I mean, it's a lot better than what it looked like originally. So that was definitely really cool.
Yeah, he was telling us like, yeah, they're pretty rare, and I looked them up on eBay and they go for a lot. So we were expecting him to say like $30 or something,
That's
but
what I was thinking.
He was like, "How about $10?" And I was like, "Okay." Like I was not expecting him to say
Cooper
that cheap. So that
every place we went to, Cooper, you know, did his usual like, you know, kind of thinking face. But the guy said $10, and Cooper's like, "Okay."
Yeah,
it was a fun.
Didn't really have to think about that one at all.
It was a fun thing, and okay.
And I hope that we're not like boring you guys, because I know this is going to be a long video, but we are saving the best for last. So definitely keep watching. But I'm just going to show a bunch of PS2 games I picked up. And these are, once again, from different locations. I've got stuff from pawn shops, from different pawn shops, from the flea market, and from the game store. So I'm just going to go through them kind of quickly here. We have Amazing Allies Edition, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. And then 2 copies of Kingdom Hearts. We have a Black Label and a Greatest Hits copy. And then a Black Label copy of Kingdom Hearts 2. And then Dragon Guard 2, which I know came out to be $6 for that one. And
we had a long discussion with that guy.
Yeah.
He tried to tell us that 35 divided by 6, or divided by 5 was 6, and which obviously isn't true. And then he kept going back and forth, like, you know, Cooper's like, "How about 30?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, you're getting a great job, or great deal, you know, 6 for each game, so 35." And it was just, and then he ultimately took 30, so it was just like a long drawn out process.
30 for the 5 games here, so $6 each. That included 1 copy of the Kingdom Hearts each, and then Dragon Guard 2. And then 2 games that I had never seen or heard of, and I was really happy to pick up because I guess they seem pretty uncommon because I've never seen or heard of them before. But they're Eureka 7 Volume 1, The New Wave, and Volume 2, The New Vision. And they look like, I mean, they don't, I thought that they were JRPGs when I first saw them, but they look more like, I don't even know, like weird mech games, I guess.
We asked the guy at the game store if he'd heard of them, and he said he'd heard of them, but he didn't have them, nor did he know what they were, or what they were worth. So
yeah.
essentially, we paid $5 for them, so it wasn't.
I think we looked them up while we were there, and like every game I picked up is between like $10 and $20, I think, for a complete copy, and they ended up being like $6 each. So I thought that was pretty good.
That was a good deal.
And then a couple from the game store, and I don't know if we mentioned, but we took a bunch of stuff in to trade into the game store to get store credit because the place is called Cybertron Games in Mascot, Florida, and they give really good trade-in prices. We took a bunch of extra stuff that, you know, we have nothing to do with. It's not worth it to put it on eBay, and no one wants it on Craigslist, you know. So we took it to the game store. They gave us really good trade-in values, and I was able to pick up a factory-sealed copy of Dawn of Mana for the PS2, and it was $20 in trade credit. And then I have the game, but I don't have a sealed one, so, you know, I figured why not pick it up.
And the seal, there's like no.
It's a really good
seal.
It's a really
good seal.
They had 2 sealed copies, and I made sure to pick out the best one. But what I'm more excited about is this game, and it's a complete copy of Magic Pen Gold: The Quest for Color. And I've never seen this game ever in person. And I know it's a pretty uncommon, I don't know if I call it rare, but it's definitely an uncommon PS2 game that I didn't have. And it was $22.95 of my trade credit. But like I said, it is complete, and I thought that was pretty awesome. Nice addition to the PS2 collection. And you know, I've been adding to my PS2 collection, but I haven't had like a good, expensive, or rare game in a while, so that was nice to pick that up.
And Cooper, I believe, added five games to his PS2 collection there, with the 2 volumes.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 he showed,
the Spider-Man,
and then the Spider-Man.
The 2 Eureka 7s, the Dawn of Mana, and the Magic Pen will definitely
so that was definitely
additions.
Cool. So.
And I think a lot of the stuff that Sam still has to show is like really cool stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and show some Wii stuff that I picked up before we get into the boxed items.
Even though the last one that he's gonna show of this little segment is kind of boxed, and it's just as cool. So stay tuned.
But I picked up one Wii U game, and we said earlier how I took the Star Wars Battlefront because it was the wrong game. And because of that, he gave me $5 off on Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, and it was marked at $20, but I got it for $15, which is the most that I wanted to pay for an opened copy. But it is complete, so
pretty cool.
Nice addition to the Wii U collection. And then from GameStop, I picked up a Wii Fit, which is 89 cents. And then at some store, I was able to pick up a Wii Fit Plus for I think about $5. There's no price on it, but that's usually what
it might even been less than that, honestly.
Yeah,
because we got it. That was in a bundle.
Or under.
It was in the same bundle that we got all those GameCube games and the Wii games.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it was more than $1.
And then from another Cash America, I picked up 007 Quantum of Solace and Prince of Persia Rival Swords. These are both complete, and they were marked at $5 each, but I paid $3 each for those. And then I picked up another Mario Kart for $10, I believe. I think I paid $10 for one of them and $15 for the other, because I picked up 2 copies today. But
sounds right.
10 for one, $15 for the other, I believe. But the coolest Wii game that I was able to pick up is one that I've been looking for a long time, and I'd like to get one sealed, and I'm still probably going to get one sealed at some point. But I'm glad to have this, and it was a really good price. It ended up being...
It was like 30... He worked out to be 35.
It was either 30 or 35 after like the bundle deal and all that, and that is a complete copy of Super Mario All-Stars, the limited edition for the Wii, and this has, this is fully complete. It's not sealed, and it does have a rip back here from someone taking off the sticker, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape, and for like $30 to $35 is a great deal for this. They originally had it priced at $43.99, and I think they're basing that off of half.com prices, but the cheapest price on there is going to be like just the game only. It's not going to be with the big box. So I'm pretty sure that $30 is a really good deal for
It
this.
was
and
it was very exciting, definitely.
I was very happy to pay that, and very glad to finally add this to my collection. Been waiting for a while. And I think we're going to pause for 1 second, because I think the camera is running low on battery, but we're going to pause just for 1 second and then pick up.
Sounds good.
Something just came up on the screen, and I don't know what it was. Yeah, it's running low on battery. I'll just plug it in really quick.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Yeah, this video is going to be
Monsterly
super
long. What time is it? It's almost 1 o'clock, dude.
Oh my god.
God, dude, I gotta give it 6. Prices you pay for video games, people. Prices you pay for video games. I guess while Cooper's doing that, since the video's still rolling, and Cooper can probably edit this out, I did pre-order Pokemon X and Y. I did not get it because we ended up taking longer at the game store, and that was perfectly fine because we both got a lot of cool stuff from it, and some of the stuff we still have to show, so that's pretty cool. But I guess just as kind of a pausing point, I'm sure many of you already have this, but the GameStop Pokemon posters for X and Y were extremely cool this year. I don't remember them being this big or this cool for any of the other Pokemon games, because I have every Pokemon game, so except for Ruby and Gold, so, and I've pre-ordered all of them, so I've never not bought one, and I don't remember getting posters this cool or this big, so I definitely want to frame this one up. And since I did buy both X and Y, I'm supposedly getting a timeline poster, so hopefully, Cooper said he's seen it, so hopefully it's as cool as it sounds, because this poster's already pretty cool, and to get that for free was definitely a bonus, so I'm gonna set that down.
Yeah, the timeline poster is like this.
It's like sideways. It's
skinny.
kind of like
that
the here, you wanna grab that really quick? The tube? The Donkey Kong ones. Actually, I don't really want to pull it out. I changed my mind, but these are the Donkey Kong Club Nintendo posters, and I think the timeline poster for Pokemon is kind of like the same thing as the timeline for Donkey Kong, Mario, and Zelda. Unfortunately, I only have the Donkey Kong one, but they're all pretty cool, so
we may edit all that out.
We may edit all this out, but it'll be good bloopers for all of you people. But hey, it didn't hurt to do it, okay? So,
Alright, yeah,
Alright, we are back, everybody, and I guess we'll start with one thing that we actually, I didn't actually get this, no, excuse me. 3 things that I didn't exactly get at the pawn shop or the game store, but I got in the same time. So, from Cooper, one last thing from Cooper. Cooper had, and I may be getting more box games. We're kind of talking about some more deals to get a few more box N64 games because he has quite a few more, and so we were talking about that. But one I did end up pulling the trigger on was a complete copy of Donkey Kong Country for the SNES. The box is in really, really good shape, and the card is in really, really good shape. So basically what we did was, I already had Donkey Kong Country, but it was a player's choice. So,
and it was just a cartridge.
yeah, it was just the cartridge. So we just basically traded. I traded that and $10, and I was able to get this. So it was a really good deal, and again, it's in really, really good shape. So definitely a cool SNES game. As Cooper has stated in his previous videos, they are getting harder and harder to find. And I believe Donkey Kong Country goes for like $30 to $35 on eBay, so that one was definitely pretty cool. 2 more boxed N64s, one N64 and 1 more SNES. I guess sticking with the Donkey Kongs, it's a boxed N64 Donkey Kong. I picked this up for, it was $17 with the cartridge. Unfortunately, it does not have a manual. And Cooper and I were talking to the manager of one of the places we stopped at because they had a manual for it, but unfortunately, he did not want to part with the manual with the cartridge. He just had the manual in the cart, but he thought it was complete like that and didn't it's a long story, and we had our
Yeah.
jokes about it. But he didn't want to let it go. I even offered to pay more than the difference, just because more than the difference still would have been cheaper than eBay. But so that didn't go as planned. But the box is in really good shape, and the cartridge came in really good shape. So just need to find a manual. And then this one was an extremely good deal. I got this. I paid about $40 for this. This is a complete Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo. The box is in really, really good shape, and for $40, this is a steal considering cartridges. Cooper was just telling me today, actually, we were actually joking about how, not really joking, but we were talking about how if we went to like a pawn shop and we saw a SNES game, like Secret of Mana, that was actually one we joked about, for $30, how, back in, a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago even, we wouldn't have picked it up for $30 because, that's what they go for, and, you're not really getting a good deal on it, but, nowadays they go for like $50 just for the cartridge. So to get the complete box of Secret of Mana for $40 was definitely a really good deal. I think, so now we're moving on to the last part, and there are some very, very cool stuff here.
Yeah, I have 2 Game Boy games that I'm going to show, and then I'm going to let Sam show some more stuff. But also, as part of my trade credit from the game store, I picked up a complete copy of Gex Enter the Gecko for the Game Boy Color, and it honestly looks like Super Mario World on the back. I know it's different for the the N64 and the PS1 versions, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's not in the best condition, but it was only $7.
And it was trade credit, so it really came with the stuff that, again, Cooper made a good point about. We traded stuff that we couldn't even get rid of, so.
Yeah, and it's a Game Boy Color game, so I always like to pick those up because I have a bunch of Game Boy Advance games boxed, but the Game Boy Color ones seem to be harder to find, so I decided to pick that up. I thought $7 was a pretty good deal. And the other one is also a Game Boy Color game, and that's Top Gear Pocket. And this is one of those Rumble cartridges where you put a AAA battery in it, so the box is a little bit thicker. And this one was only $9. So, they were marked at $1 each more, but without even me asking him to do it, he took $1 off each, which I thought was very nice of him. So I picked those up. Thought those would be cool additions to the collection. Always nice to add 2 more Game Boy Color games.
Definitely. And the Top Rocket game, the box is really, really good shape. So
yeah, much better than the Gex box.
The Gex is in good shape with the refined shape, but the Top Rocket is in really good shape with one small crease in it. So that was definitely worth the $9. Cooper's probably got the coolest thing, so I'm gonna finish off my last 4 items. They're all boxed and complete, and then I'm gonna let Cooper take it away. So.
And these are from your trade credit from the game store.
Correct. This is still, we're finishing up at the game store. This completed our day. We got to the game store right around 7 o'clock, and we knew that GameStop closed at 9, and we knew that I wanted to still try and get back and get the Pokemon games, so we were going to try and hustle, but we realized that that wasn't going to happen, not because they were taking a long time or because we were taking a long time. It was just because we brought in so much stuff and they had to test everything, and Cooper brought in like 6 consoles and I brought in several consoles, and it just...
Yeah, and they ended up actually keeping the store open, I think, like 45 minutes late just because we were there.
Because they knew we were buying a bunch of stuff, and it was worth it for them because they made some goods. I mean, they got a lot of inventory. Good stuff too.
Yeah, they were supposed to close at 8, and I think we got out of there closer to 9.
Yeah, it was right around 9. It was like 8:50. So that was definitely really nice of them. So I had about he quoted me at 100, but 2 of the things that I turned in were NES consoles, and I guess those are just luck of the draw. Really, there's not really much you can when you haven't. I didn't really have the cores to test them because I don't really have very much for NES. And so it's just kind of luck of the draw if the 72-pin connectors working correctly. And unfortunately, they weren't, neither of them. So he took he took $5 off for each console, which I guess is still fair because that was still a really good deal, because even a brand new pin connector, it's going to cost them like $7 to order it online. And I told him that, I told him that I understood and that I knew that it would cost him like $7 or $8 to order a new one and then to fix it, but he was nice enough. I mean, we were there and we visited with them, and Cooper had been there before, and they're actually opening up a new store, and he knows we'll be there, so he was kind enough to just take off $5 for each. So I had 90 total, so I ended up spending $6 and some change on tax for these 4 items, and they're all complete. First is a N64 controller pack, the memory card, and it's in really, really good shape, and it's complete with all the inserts and all of the manuals and stuff, so this is definitely cool. Cooper actually noticed this one first and pointed it out, and the box is seriously like in fantastic shape, so
yeah, that's probably in much better condition than the one I have too. And
so it does have
the prices on them, like you know, it's trade value, but the prices were really good.
Really good. This was
especially for the condition.
Yeah, this priced at $14.95, but I combined well, I'll just show this one first. I also got the Rumble pack, complete in box with all the manuals and the inserts, and it's also in extremely good condition with just a few minor edge wear. And he had both of them priced at $15, and he saw me kind of looking at it because he knew obviously that he gave me 90, and there were a couple other things I was considering getting, but I ultimately decided these were what I wanted, and I was kind of looking at them for a couple minutes off to the side, and I think he saw that, and he's like, well, how about we just do, you know, 25 for the pair? But in my head I was thinking more like 12, that's what I was hoping, and I just asked, well, would you do 24 instead? And so he took 24, which was really nice of him for both of these, so about 12 each, and they're both complete. And then the next two are the really good ones. I got a complete Dr. Mario 64. The box is in really, really good shape, and it's complete with everything. And he had it marked at $29.95, and again, because we were buying so much stuff and whatnot, he took it down to $26, which was really fair. And the last one that I got was Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. This one is also complete, and it is in extremely good condition with very, very little problems with it. There's one small corner thing, but that's very small and minor. And he had it priced at $44.95, but he didn't realize that he had a second one on the shelf behind it. And I noticed it when we came in, but I knew that it was in a lot worse shape than this one. But Cooper also noticed it, and I didn't know if that would, if I brought it up, you know, if that would take down the price. And Cooper thankfully kind of brought it to his attention, and he's like, well, yeah, that's true. I do have the other one priced over there. So he ended up lowering it down to $38. So, you know, he took $6 off, which was pretty cool. And, you know, this one was maybe a couple more dollars than I wanted to pay, but I had store credit, and it was, I mean, and it's in such good shape, so I essentially paid like $6 for these 4 things, when you consider that, you know, it was, you know, I traded things anyway, so that was a really good deal. And I'm gonna let Cooper steal the show here.
Yeah, and one more thing is that the Dr. Mario and the Donkey Kong game both came with the box protectors too, which was cool. And the price tags,
definitely,
the price tags are actually on the protectors, not the actual games.
Which is really cool, because
So
unfortunately the sticker for the price of $14.95 is actually on the box. Which when we went to one of the game stores, one of the ones that we don't like as much, and on the first day, we noticed that they were putting sticky notes on the boxes, and at first we thought like they were putting stickers on it purposely, and it was actually pretty smart of them, and the sticky notes just come right off, and so that was definitely a really good idea of them, but unfortunately we weren't able to make any deals with them. But I wish they would have done that with this one, because we were talking about how to get the sticker off, but I don't know how we're going to do it, because it's not in a very good place. I may just leave it on there, or try and get it off. I just don't want to rip the box, so that'll be a project for another day. So
yeah. So the last thing that we have to show is the last thing that I got with my trade credit from Cybertron from the game store, and this is something I've been looking for a while. And he honestly had it overpriced. He had it priced about $20 more than eBay, but he gave me $5 off, which is still pretty high, but it's something that I've been wanting for a while. And it's in pretty good shape, and it was on trade credit. And like a lot of the stuff that I gave him like some Sega consoles and like an original Xbox and PS1s, and then like a bunch of wrestling games for the PS1 and some really common PS2 original Xbox games. It was really stuff that I can't use at all. So when he told me that my store credit was $140, I was like honestly pretty surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be that much, so I didn't feel bad paying this much for it because it was in store credit.
And it's in really good shape too.
Yeah, and it's a complete Dance Dance Revolution Mario mix for the GameCube. And it's in pretty good shape. I mean, it's got a tiny rip on the top from where the sticker was ripped off. But other than that, it's really nice. The game inside is complete, has the original Mario dance pad and everything. And this is something I've been looking for a long time, like I said. And I've unfortunately missed a chance to get it for $10 a while ago because the guy on Craigslist would not deliver it. And it was too far for me to pick up myself. But I'm just very glad to have it, finally. It's one of the kind of like mid-priced GameCube games, I guess, that I was hoping to get marked off the list. The regular game's not expensive, but to get it in the box, it's usually like $40 to $50 on eBay after shipping and everything. So for $55 in trade credit, I don't think it's that bad of a deal. And I'm very glad to add it to the collection. But
Cooper did say before we started any of our 3 days that his main goal was to get at least one like pretty nice GameCube game. And
yeah,
fortunately, not only did he walk away with that, but he also got the Super Mario All-Stars too. So when you add these two finds together, and with all the other stuff that we found, it was a pretty good day.
Yeah,
so.
And we are hoping to kind of turn this into a series. Not so much how we did the video today. We're hoping to do it more like the Game Chasers, and I don't want to say we're trying to copy them at all. But I did some videos with non-tubers, if you guys remember those, like the gaming adventure videos where we'd film around at the game stores and kind of do American Pickers style.
We both love that show.
Yeah, and we're hoping to try and do it more like that. We might have to find someone to be a camera person because we find that it's really difficult for us to film ourselves in these pawn shops and at the flea market and stuff while trying to search for games as well, because we try to hit as many places as we can in a day. So we're usually speeding through places and we don't have time or even think to film ourselves or film
eat.
the stuff. Yeah, like even eat or go to the bathroom.
We did, don't worry.
So,
but it was just a joke. But
it'd be great if we could find like a friend who would be willing to go along and be a cameraman, and maybe buy them food or pay them a little bit or whatever we have to do.
Yeah. Maybe they're a Nintendo collector too, who's not really as much of a collector as much as a person who plays good games. So maybe if we found a good game or something, and like
someone who would enjoy going.
Right. Maybe get a game out of it or
not
something.
mind filming. That'd be awesome. We're not trying to make it into like a huge show like the Game Chasers do, because obviously they put a lot of time and effort and money into that show, and it's awesome. We're just trying to do something kind of fun that we would enjoy doing and we would enjoy making, and hopefully you guys would enjoy as well. And we're going to be uploading this video and all future videos on both of our channels, so definitely make sure to subscribe to his channel. Of course, if you're watching this on my channel, there will be a link in the description to his channel, and because I am trying to get a lot of people to subscribe to him, I'm not going to put my regular links in there to like my eBay and all that, so in the description you're just going to see the link to his channel, so definitely check that out, and he'll be on my channels list on my page as well. And
this is definitely something we're going to try and keep doing. We're going to try and try and go. We're talking about a day. We're both very busy throughout the week and with work and school and whatnot, but we're going to try and get together at least maybe once or twice a week and try for like every other Saturday. Unfortunately, we're both pretty busy until a couple Saturdays from now, but we're going to try and do like a Saturday thing where we go and try and get some stuff like today, make it a fun day and hang out and whatnot, and maybe like a weekday where we just hit up like the local stuff right around our house, because Cooper and I live pretty close to each other, so it's pretty easy to swing by and pick him up and hit all the places because there's a lot of nice shops with a lot of friendly folk right next to each other. So that's something we're going to be trying to do. And as Cooper stated, my channel is Sammy997, SAMMY 997, and I will be doing future videos, pickups, and other cool things. So
Yeah.
definitely come check me out because this is going to be a regular thing, and I'm going to hopefully be adding a bunch of stuff. I do live in a college dorm, so I've kind of got some room constraints on how I can do stuff and where I can put shelving, but I'm going to do my best to kind of display everything in the best way that I can. I do have some extra shelves on the side where I have like a lamp and, you know, like where I keep my pop and stuff like that, but I'm going to reorganize, you know, now that I got a bunch more stuff because I got to find some place to put the GameCubes, and so I'm gonna look to do like a room tour pretty soon here. Probably get Cooper to help me get started, and so hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys.
Yeah, and definitely make sure to subscribe to his channel, and just be on the lookout for new videos, and hopefully we'll have some pretty cool stuff coming up soon. And yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the stuff because we certainly did. So
yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Yep, thanks again. See ya.
Bye.